Oh shoot, okay. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. It is like, oh my gosh, it's like 9:03. I'm so late. So, I'm live today. Hopefully folks join. Hopefully folks didn't already join and because I was late, they were like, "Oh shoot, what's going on?" But anyways, so I'm doing another live session today and it's a Q&A as always. Hey Tony B. Um, Talking weight loss, intermittent fasting, keto, whatever you guys want to talk about. I will start the conversation with a question that I get a lot. Really not having anything to do with weight loss necessarily, but how tall am I? So I get that question. Oh gosh, there's something in my eye. Sorry. I get that question quite a lot. I am 5'10", and that I guess that's fairly tall for a woman. So I have kind of a funny story about that though. Um, Growing up, I was always taller than everybody else. I remember uh, I was 5 years old and my cousin was 7 years old, and we were the same height. and you know, as I got older, I remember by the time I was 8, I was like 5 feet tall. So, and I was also 135 pounds, so I was actually pretty overweight as a kid. But actually, you know, I wasn't that overweight at that age. The funny thing is, though, at that age, hi, Lady Shay, at that age, everyone thinks that, you know, back then it was all about weight. So if you were 135 pounds, even if you, hey guys, sorry, even if you were 5 feet tall, everyone thought you were overweight because you're 135 pounds and you're only 8 years old. So that was when my first diet started. But anyways, I remember being 8, 9 years old and reading somewhere that lifting weights stunts your growth, right? And so I begged my parents for like a workout machine so I could lift lift weights in hopes of stunting my growth because I was already taller than all the boys and taller than everyone else in class. How crazy is that? It's funny now thinking about it, but it's almost heartbreaking because as a kid I'm sitting there asking to be shorter and really just not feeling comfortable in my own body and not learning to feel comfortable in my own body. So I just thought about that as kind of a funny little story, given some of the conversations we had last week and how we had some younger some of our younger viewers were on last week asking questions, and I was just thinking about how, you know, it inspired me to really think about how we need to learn to love our bodies and the body that we're in. You know, there's always room for improvement, yes, but we have to love who we are now. Shoot, oh, it froze. You said the live froze? Oh crap! Oh my goodness, I have no clue. It says it's still going on mine. Um, no, it's crooked, of course. Shoot, is anybody else frozen? I wonder if it's just Lady Shay mentioned that it's frozen. Is anybody else frozen? Hope not. Oh. Okay, good. Thank you, Alicia. So yeah, the funny thing is though, you know, as we start to think about that, it just really made me think. And so on Instagram this week, I've been trying to put a lot of posts up about loving yourself, loving where you are now, understanding that there is always going to be room for improvement, but we have to be comfortable with us before we can even embrace the improvement. Because here's the thing: if we don't love who we are now, we can lose 100 pounds and still not love who we are. You know, so I posted on my Instagram the other day like a side by side of me and me, me 100 pounds heavier, and in the same dress though, both pictures. And I remember that day. I literally remember the day where I was about 330 pounds and I was wearing that dress, and that was my skinny dress. And I loved the way I looked, and I thought I looked great that day. You know, my hair was killing it. It was my baby's birthday. Actually, my oldest son. I still call him all my baby, but anyways, it was his birthday party, and we were at a soccer or something or other, some sort of soccer field, like an indoor soccer field, and we were all playing around, and I had a ball. I mean, I was having so much fun. I was so happy, and I wasn't feeling, you know, so big. I was moving around a little more. My knees were bothering me still, but you know, I had some energy that day. And then looking back at the picture, I'm like, oh my goodness, is that me? So, okay, I'm glad you're getting it clear now, Lady Shy. Oh my eye. So yeah, what questions do you guys have? You know, I wanted to kind of start out with that little story about, you know, how we need to learn to love ourselves, but I definitely want to hear what questions you guys have or anything that I can help you guys with today. Um, Otherwise, I can give an update too. Um, I've got a video coming out Friday. Finally, an actual video. It's going to be. Um, I have two videos that I've got queued up. Finally, I've done the editing on one of them, and I'm in the process of editing the other one. But it's one is how I started my weight loss journey, meaning how I started, and then really I went through the entire thing actually. And then the other video is how I do keto. Which one would you guys like to see first? Let me know. So then I'll go ahead and put that video out first, whichever one you'd like to see first, and then we can go from there. And then right now, I'm actually shooting one of the shooting like like I'm on TV. I'm putting together one of the vlogs because I said I wanted to do a vlog monthly. So right now I'm putting together one of those, and it's going to be about a good deal about the cheating and what we can do post cheats, and really trying to think about how we can um, how we can stop ourselves from cheating so much, because I do it more than I'd like to admit. I'm eating fairly good. I see inches leaving, but the numbers on the scale barely move. You know what? So, like with Lizette TV, are you working out? Are you doing like strength training, HIIT workouts, or is it just modifying your eating? And the reason I ask that is because sometimes when we're working out hard, especially if we're doing strength training, we will see the inches before we see the weight loss, because if we're building muscle, muscle weighs more than fat, and so we'll start to see ourselves tone. It's like when you see two pictures of two people, or pictures of two different people, and they're both 200 pounds, but one, and they're the same height and everything, but one looks a little heavier than the other. Um, yeah, and incorporate weight. So it could be that you're getting more lean, because I've noticed like I know other people who weigh the exact same amount as me, and I've tended to look more lean because throughout my weight loss journey I've done weights, and I lift pretty heavy. I actually posted a video today of another woman. Shoot, I forgot her workouts on Instagram a lot, and she's always showing herself lifting heavy. And I think there's still that stigma out there sometimes that if you lift heavy, you're gonna get big. Um, I've been working out like crazy, but the scale not moving. If I'm gaining muscle, will I start to see changes in my body? Yes, if you're gaining muscle, you will see changes in your body. But in order for the scale to move and the what is it? And you start looking more lean, you have to incorporate cardio and strength training. So cardio helps the scale to move. Also, obviously the eating. So you can't, if we're working out hard and then we're cheating, or eating, not great, then we definitely won't lose the weight. But if we're eating right and we're hitting that cardio and the strength training, you're going to see, not only will you see your body start to get leaner, but you're going to see the weight drop. Let me see. Um, I'm really struggling with my weight loss journey, binge eating, and often want to give up. Kamaya, don't give up. See, that's the thing. We all struggle. I've got another video where I talk about just how to start your weight loss journey. We have to make small changes. That's really what the video says for the most part. I mean, it gives you actual details, but making small changes, one step at a time, and just never giving up is key. Because there's so many things and so many ways that you can give up. But then when you think about some of the wins, like for me, something that I didn't think about before or just almost forgotten about is that my knees don't hurt anymore. It's extremely rare when I have a pain in my knees or my feet. And I can't even tell you how many knee braces I have, and compression socks and all these different things to kind of take care of my knees and my feet. But what I find is I don't necessarily need them as much anymore because I'm not in that pain. And the reason I'm not in that pain is because I've lost that weight. It's just you will see so many changes in your body and in your health, your overall life, your lifestyle and your quality of life. That's the word I was looking for. Your overall quality of life, you'll see major changes. I'm telling you, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. Um, Thanks. This is what gets me discouraged when those numbers don't move. Gotcha. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I've been in a situation several times where I was in a plateau. So that could also be the case. And it's tough to tell. Are you tracking? That's one of the questions I would ask. If you're, what happens whenever I hit a plateau, I go back to tracking for like 2 weeks because I want to see, okay, what am I eating? How's my workout impacting my meals? Things like that, just to understand what I'm doing to make sure that I can kind of use that data to say, okay, well, I did these things, these 10 things this week, or here's how I ate this week. Whether it's cutting my carbs or staying under a certain amount of calories, whatever it is, here's what I did this week. And I gained a pound. But then I did this, week 2, and I lost 2 pounds. So what was the difference between those weeks? So every time I hit like a plateau or something, I'll go back to tracking right in my Lose It app because I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm not seeing a trend of gaining. That's always my fear. Um, I've given up red meat because it becomes hard for me to digest. Now I focus on having a healthy gut. Yes. Yeah, I gave up red meat and pork a long time ago as well for that exact same reason. That said, whenever I go to the West Coast, I will have an In-N-Out burger. I know it's terrible, but I will. I love In-N-Out. But I don't eat red meat ever, and then I'll go to LA once every 4 years and have an In-N-Out burger. Oddly, I don't get sick. I would expect myself to get sick. Well, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that I don't get sick this next time. Um, but yeah, so yeah, eating red meat. Also, I would consider. I would think about ginger and things like that. Those types of things also help with gut health as well. Um, Let me see. What motivates you to work out, and how do you keep your momentum going? So, what motivates me, well, well, two things. What started my workout, what started motivating me to work out was, and I've mentioned this a million times, having my daughter. Seeing her and what she's doing and watching her watch me, that started me. That was my initial motivation. And also it's been my motivation throughout. But seeing the success, seeing me lose the weight and be smaller than I've ever been in my adult life, at 212 pounds, I've never been that size since I was probably 15 or 13 or something really young the last time I was 212 pounds. So seeing that, what motivates me to get up and work out is I don't want to go back. Honestly, I literally think about that at 5 a.m. when I'm waking up and I'm like, I don't feel like getting up, but I don't feel like being 300 pounds again either, so I'm getting up. And that's really what continues to push me. Also, and I talk about this sometimes too, I have my tracker, my watch. Mine is an Apple Watch. I got it back when I was rich, in my mind. Back when I didn't have as heavy of a budget, so it was a while ago. But my Apple Watch it keeps me motivated. One of the reasons is, I'm getting weird. Hold up, let me unplug this. Sorry, guys. I think something was messing up. Um, anyway, so my Apple Watch keeps me motivated because I'm connected to some of my close friends around here who work out as well. And if I see one of them working out, then I'm like, and because I can see on my watch, it'll show me Nadia just completed a workout. And I'm like, oh shoot, she worked out and I didn't? Oh, I need to get it together. So seeing other people doing things, watching Instagram, watching YouTube, those things still motivate me to work out as well, to keep it going, and keep pushing to make sure that I get as healthy as I can, because also just the fact that I look at my kids and I'm like, I want to live longer. I want to see, them as adults, and I want to spend time with my grandkids one day, and I want to do all those things. And in order to do that, I need to get healthy, because frankly, the quality of our food isn't the quality of our parents' and grandparents' food. So we will likely get some of the diseases a lot earlier unless we choose healthier options, meaning reducing or eliminating processed foods and, just sugars, removing refined sugars from our diets, things like that will really be helpful. So I think about that all the time. Um, how to properly do a detox cleanse. I've been drinking lemon in my water, but it really gives me heartburn. Really, lemon gives you heartburn. It's not really supposed to, I don't think. I thought it was an alkaline. I might be confusing it. Um, have you tried maybe lime instead? Other things to detox. Let me think. What have I used? I mean, I've done the master cleanse, but that has lemon in it, and so that's going to also be a that's going to also give you heartburn. I would suggest adding some ginger in there because that's going to be helpful. Anytime you add ginger to might help with the detox. But with a detox, are you doing like a fruit and vegetable detox? What type of detox is it, or are you just adding lemon to your everyday diet, everyday, in my opinion at least. How do you deal with any pain you might get from changes in weather? Oh yeah, I know. I have some chronic issues that get worse with weather changes, and it makes it hard or impossible to do workouts. I know exactly how you feel, Jules. So what I do when it comes to weather is I try and well, I do this in general, and it actually helps me to not be affected as much with weather changes. So I take turmeric every day. There's like these turmeric drops that you can get from Amazon. I get those and I put it in my apple cider vinegar. And my apple cider vinegar shot. I know I've told you guys about these before. I do apple cider vinegar shots. Put a little apple cider vinegar in it, a little turmeric, a little cayenne pepper. What else? Now barberry, because that's healthy for the gallbladder, which also is and also healthy for the gut. So I put all those things in there, a little bit of water, and I take it as a shot. And I do that every night. But those things also, at least the apple cider vinegar, I believe, and the turmeric as well as the cayenne pepper also help with inflammation. So look up, I would suggest Jules looking up different things that help with inflammation because a lot of our pain is due to inflammation in our bodies. And a lot of the foods that we eat and some of the things that we drink and and so many things that we wouldn't expect to cause inflammation do, you know? So I would kind of look up what things that you're eating potentially could be causing inflammation, and then start incorporating some things that are anti-inflammatories to your diet, like turmeric and ginger. I'm trying to think of some of the others that I use a lot. Let me see. I had a weight loss goal of 50 pounds for the year. Do you think I can still make it? Yes, you can still drop 50 pounds. It's shoot, I didn't post this. I'm gonna post a picture on Instagram, and I'm gonna do this for you tomorrow. And I don't know if you have Instagram, but if you do, my Instagram is This Is Life Health Now. So just Life Health Now, but this is in front of it. So This Is Life Health Now. And so on my Instagram, I'm gonna post tomorrow my picture from February of last year. February 1st of last year, I was like 287 pounds, something like that. By the end of the year, so like December 3rd or something like that, I was like 218 pounds. And I think I got as low, no, I think that was the lowest I got in December, 218 pounds. So that's like, oh my gosh, how did I forget math? 59 pounds? Something like that. Oh, goodness, that's terrible. Yeah, it's 59 pounds. I'm confident. And I'm supposed to be good at math. But yeah, it's feasible. And I was not on the diet. I was not on the weight loss journey the whole time. If I'm being honest, I only, like, the majority of that weight I lost by July. And then, so I was 230 by July. And then from July till September, I was lollygagging, just playing, eating whatever I want. I was still working out pretty hard, but I was not sticking to any sort of eating plan or healthy eating or anything. I had a lot of brownies. And then then around around October, I got back on it and lost another 15 pounds. So, I mean, it is possible. It's totally possible. It's just, it takes dedication and it takes staying at it. You can do this, Kamaya. Um, Hello, quick question. My scale is up by 2 pounds. Really? I'm thinking I'm gaining muscle, but I also think I'm consuming enough calories. I'm not consuming enough calories. Any suggestions on how to do that? Uh, what do you think about the recommendation of eating every 3 hours? I so eating every 3 hours. I am not a huge fan of someone telling me when I'm supposed to eat. What I found, I so keto has really helped me to start listening to my body. Like, am I actually hungry? Let me try drinking some water to see if it's hunger versus thirst. And then once I realize that it is hunger, let me go ahead and eat something. Um, and let me eat until I feel satisfied. So I'm not going to just keep going. I try and eat a little slower just to see when I feel satisfied, and then I'm done. And so the folks who eat every 3 hours, they say it's supposed to rev your metabolism, things like that. I've tried this. I've tried that before, and for me, it didn't increase my metabolism at all. That said, I probably eat more than every 3 hours though, because I snack. I'm a snacker. I'll have almonds. I guess it's about every 3 hours or so, but I'll have a couple of almonds kind of every so off, every few hours, or I'll have like uh, an egg. Like I boil 2 eggs in the morning, and I'll have one of the eggs at some point during the day. I'll have a coffee. So I'm having something that is probably pushing my metabolism, but I'm not eating. If that makes sense, every 3 hours. Um, so I don't know. I'm not sure if that works. It never. I tried it a few years ago, and it didn't work for me so much. Also, you could be holding some water weight from yesterday. Also, it's best when we're gauging our weight against each other. We want to look about a week out. So last Wednesday versus this happen over a week. Day to day, we can go up and down insanely. Like I've had days where at night I've weighed. Oh man, there was one time a while ago. Like at night I weighed like 289, and in the morning I was 280. Like and it's not like I didn't lose 9 pounds overnight. It's just your body fluctuates so much during the day. So I wouldn't take too much heed to a 2 pound gain in a day. I would say drink a little more water, because what could have happened is you could be holding on to some water weight. Maybe you had some additional sugars or salts yesterday. So it's probably more so that. You also could look at the time that you weighed yourself. Is it first thing in the morning? Was it middle of the day? Because sometimes if you had a meal, your weight would be a little higher. Things like that. Hi, Tanya. I saw that you joined. Hey. Let me see. So everything else, you have to talk about that. You look amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Kadian. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Kadian or I think it's Kadian. I think that's the best way. I mean, I think that makes sense. I try and pronounce people's names correct because people always butcher my name, so I try my best. Um, what is your current weight, if you don't mind? So today, so last week, right? Last week when we were here, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm doing really well, blah blah. 212 last time I looked, and then this week I am 218 this morning, and by Friday, Saturday, I'll probably be 212 again. It's weird the way my weight works, especially if I've cheated a bit. And last week was bad. Like after Wednesday, I just lost my mind. Um, and I always tell folks, even when you lose weight, even when you lose weight, you may still have those days where you know just don't stick to what you're doing. You may even have a whole week, but what do? You jump back on it. And so I had a bunch of events and things going on at the end of last week, and I just, you know, ate a little more than I normally would, and so gained a little bit of weight. And I've already, I actually got up to 230 on Saturday, Sunday, I think it was, and I've already dropped that, most of that, because it's mostly water weight when you do something like that. So you have to drink a lot of water, you know, um, make sure I'm getting my workout in, go back to low carbs, go back to my intermittent fasting, basically doing the things that I do all the time, and then drop the weight again, and then just keep pushing. I need to, I've found that lately I've been more willing to cheat than I had been previously. So I've got to keep pushing myself, and that's just what we have to do. We have to keep pushing ourselves to make sure we continue to drop our weight. and continue to just be healthy. As long as we're healthy, it doesn't really matter. Okay, hi. What's the best thing to do to start weight loss? So, Jasmine, I have a video on that. And I think it's called "How to Start Your Weight Loss Journey" or "How to Start Your Weight Loss for Beginners" or something like that. And I think I posted it around maybe like December 4th or 7th or something like that of 2017. Check that video out. I give a lot of details on kind of a really good way, in my opinion, to start your weight loss journey, because weight loss journey is in phases, right? And so I think starting, you want to do small changes. You don't want to just pop into, oh my, at least I don't think I didn't, and I don't overly agree with the idea of just popping right into like keto. Like today I'm eating brownies, tomorrow I'm going keto. If because what happens is most people don't tend to stick to it when they just try and go die hard like that. So I say make small changes over time, and then go into, if you want to do keto or intermittent fasting or whatever it is, you know, take a few weeks to really start to change the way that you're eating, to start to go through your cabinets and remove the things that you don't need anymore, or the things you're not going to, the things, it's not even there for my kids. My kids don't eat a whole lot of junk. They do eat tortilla chips. Organic tortilla chips is the one chip that we have in our closet at all times. We do have brownies. What's funny is, no, we don't have brownies anymore because I ate them last week. But it's we do gluten-free brownies. So I convinced myself that I no longer like Betty Crocker brownies. I no longer like this, that, and third. So if you have them at a party and there's Betty Crocker, I'm like, oh, I can't eat those brownies. So I kind of did a little mind trick. So I really only eat like gluten-free brownies. I know it's crazy. And then if I have those, then I end up cheating them still. So um, I love water. I literally keep a jug next to my bed, so drinking it never been a problem. But yeah, I just started with lemon. I heard it cuts the fat of whatever you eat, but I really need a master cleanse. So I don't know that lemon by itself is necessarily cutting the fat. I think it's a mix of a couple of things. So I've seen people use like a little bit of peppermint spice or peppermint oils, lemon, what was it, ginger, and a few things together is supposed to help. But honestly, it's just, I think the water is almost just as good. I'm not sure if fat burners and things like that truly work, honestly, but they do help in terms of like the lemon and stuff does help to give you kind of gut health. So that is very important from that standpoint, at least. The master cleanse, I like the master cleanse really as a detox, um, but you have to be smart on the way that you go onto the master cleanse and go off the master cleanse, because it's oops because the master cleanse, what does it do? Oh, because you will lose weight on that master cleanse, and it'll be a lot of weight. You can lose like 15 pounds in 7 days, and it'll be 15 real pounds. The problem is that when you go off of that master cleanse, a lot of people gain that 15 pounds right back. And the reason is because we're not transitioning off of it in the right way for the most part. There's a whole plan on how to transition out of these kind of detoxes, and most folks don't really follow those plans. But if we don't follow them, we will gain the weight right back. And the detox is almost pointless if we go back to eating exactly what we were eating before. And that's what most of us tend to do. I know I always did, which is awful. You sound lower than usual. Oh, can you turn the volume up slightly? Oh, I wonder if I can. This, I don't know if this, my dad swears that if I turn the volume up on my phone, he can hear me better. I don't know. I'll try and pull the camera closer without breaking something. Okay, I hope that worked. Um, I have 2 kids to wake up in the morning. Oh, yeah. Don't want to make smoothies. Any quick low-fat breakfast ideas? So let me think. So I put a video up of what I eat in a day when I started my weight loss journey. Is that it? And I have a video of what I eat in a day um, for intermittent fasting. And the what I eat in a day for intermittent fasting, that's not a smoothie. That one is an oatmeal. And it's fairly low in fat, and it keeps you pretty full for quite some time. I really love that oatmeal too. It's got flaxseed in it. I use gluten-free oatmeal just because one of my sons has a gluten intolerance, so we do that. Eggs is a really good breakfast. Egg whites, especially when I'm not doing low carbs or keto. I do egg whites, and the reason why is because I don't want all that extra fat. When I'm doing low carbs, I can handle the extra fat, but if I'm not, I don't need it, and so I'll do egg whites. So I'll do like an egg white omelet, just a, which is for me just a ton of vegetables, egg whites, and then like some turkey, and just kind of throw it all in a bowl, pot, throw it all in a pot, and tear that thing up. It's so good. So try that. That might be a really good breakfast option. It does require kind of the extra work of either cutting up the vegetables unless you get them already chopped. Um, but yeah, I know how you feel having a couple of kids to get up in the morning. I got four, and it's a struggle. Every morning is a struggle. I do try and cook them breakfast now more often, but I'm telling you. So I lost my job back in July, and I was like one of those people who worked insane. Like I was trying to become CEO somewhere apparently because I was always going extra hard at work, and so I never used to make my kids breakfast ever. Like never. Like I trained my trained my oldest son really to get up and make breakfast for everybody. He wasn't cooking because we're not crazy, but he was making cereal for him and his brothers and sister, and that's what they did every day. That's what they had every day. And now that I'm not working, I'm like, you know what? I need to pour more time in my kids because this is ridiculous. And even if I go back to work, I am still going to make sure that I get up and make my kids breakfast in the morning because I'm like, I can't believe that I just feel like I was just doing it all the way wrong by not ever, even, it doesn't have to be every day. I mean, even twice a week if I made them breakfast, they'd be so happy. I mean, you see their faces when I'm actually cooking them breakfast. Um, yeah, today I had some Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. I had 8. Shake my head. I haven't eaten sweets in a month. It is tough, especially if that's your Tanya. It's tough, especially if that's your vice, right? So for me, everybody knows my vice is brownies, gluten-free brownies. It's like a dark chocolate. Oh my gosh, just thinking about it, I'm like wanting them right now. But I'm trying to stay as far away from as possible. Um, Girl Scout cookies. So a little secret of mine, and it's almost like a dark secret because I feel like I'm gonna get kicked out of the U.S. if I tell people this. I don't like Girl Scout cookies, like none of them. There's not one type of Girl Scout cookie that I'm like, ooh, this is my favorite. Ooh, I love this. People chase them down, run after them, jump over people and knock folks down to get Girl Scout cookies, and I'm like, ew, really? It's just my husband thinks I'm crazy because of it because he loves, I think, Thin Mints and some other random kind. I don't even know the names of them because I just dislike them. Always have, even as a kid. I tried to like them. Isn't that funny? It's so weird that I tried to like them. Um, what are your thoughts on prolonged water fasting? By the way, this is my first time chatting. I always miss the live. I'm so glad you were able to catch it today, Lady Shay. So I'm not a huge fan of the water fasting, and the reason is it makes me nervous. Me personally, it makes me nervous because I so so it's like I feel like I can lose just as much weight by eating keto, doing intermittent fasting, drinking tons of water, and working out. And so I feel like if I do a water fast, how do I come off of that water fast and not pick the weight back up? Because I know how to come off of my little process or program of eating keto, um, intermittent fasting, drinking lots of water, and working out. I know how to come from that and not gain the weight. But every time I've done any sort of fasting, prolonged fasting, I always gain the weight back. But I have heard that folks who do the water fasting, they get into ketosis a lot faster, and they also they also get a lot of energy after about 3 days, which makes sense because in the master cleanse, I've gotten a lot of energy after about 3 days as well. So some people love it though. I have friends who swear by a water fast every time they cheat. especially if they have a bad cheat. They do 24-hour, 48-hour. I've seen up to 96-hour water fast. It's just not for me because I'm like, if I can lose the weight and still eat, then I'm gonna still eat. I know it's funny, but that's just me. I'm like, if I can eat and lose weight, I'm gonna do it. Now, if I was doing a detox, like actually doing a detox, I could see myself doing it because but not just to jumpstart my journey or anything like that. I wouldn't do it. For me, I wouldn't. Hey, Alika, you look great. Oh, thanks so much, Dijo. Um, Camilla Watts. Hey, missed notification. Oh, I'm sorry. That's because I was so last minute notifying. I'm so sorry. I didn't put the post up on Instagram early today, and I also just sent the post on Instagram and Facebook like 10 minutes before not even 10, like 2 minutes before I started. So sorry about that. That was my bad. What's your current weight? It is, what is it, like 218 this morning. This morning it was 218. We were talking about that just now. Ashy. That is funny. My kids are ashy right now. So, yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I was 218 this morning. Last week I was 212. So, um, I had a rough weekend, I will say. And I told everybody before I was up to 230 on Sunday, and now I'm dropping the weight, you know, during this week. So I'm hoping to be seeing 212 or lower this next week. Let me see. Hello, how many calories do you intake during intermittent fasting each day? So, Cherie, I don't really. Sherry, I think it's probably Sherry. It might be Cherie, but I think it's Sherry. Sherry, I don't really count my calories when I'm doing intermittent fasting, and it's because my mind is automatically tuned to what I'm supposed to eat and how much I'm supposed to eat. At this point in my body, though, at this point in my journey, when I've looked at when I when I've looked at what is it? Oh, when I've looked at this point in my journey, when I look at my Lose It app, it tells me I can eat around 1,500 calories a day. I probably don't eat that many calories even when I'm doing intermittent fasting, but I don't really count calories like that, and I also don't overly stay on top of carbs or anything. The only time I track is when I hit a plateau. But when I started my journey, I think I was at like 1,900 calories a day. That was when I first started. But remember, I was 327 pounds. So if you use like the Lose It app or the MyFitnessPal, which is those apps where you can document your intake every day, it'll tell you what your goal is. And you can usually, at least on Lose It, I don't know my fitness pal as well, but on Lose It, you can adjust your goal. So if you say that you want to lose 2 pounds a week, it'll adjust your goal of calories per day to lose 2 pounds a week. So for me, I remember my goal was 2 pounds a week because I think that's the highest you could choose on Lose It. And it was like 1,946 calories a day. I don't know why I remember the 46. I'm a weirdo. Let me see. So, hello. Oh, I already got that one. Oh, hey, Lexi. How dare you say you don't like Girl Scout cookies? I know. I should be kicked out of the country. It's true. I hate Girl Scout cookies. My husband thinks I'm crazy too. Ashy. I'm 3 days in on the one meal a day intermittent fasting. I'm struggling, but I refuse to give up. I got 80 pounds to lose. So you could do, make sure you're drinking a ton of water. I would say if you like coffee, coffee is a good thing to have during that time that you're fasting. But whenever you're doing any fast, you want to drink a ton of water. The reason that is so important, I learned this from experience. The first time I did the Master Cleanse, I did it just to lose weight because I was trying to lose weight for my wedding, and I had no clue anything about it other than like the ingredients, right? That's what I found on the internet. I heard Beyonce did it to lose weight for Dream Girls. I was like, I'm gonna try this thing. And I wasn't drinking enough water, and I didn't know. So I was just like doing the little drinks. It's like lemon juice and maple syrup and cayenne pepper and water. And it's a mix, and you do 10 ounces and you drink that, 6 times a day or something like that. So I was just drinking that. And I might have had cup of water here and there, but it wasn't anything major. And I started getting major pains, like in my side and on in my back, like shooting pains to the point where I was like in tears. And my now husband, he was my boyfriend then, got nervous. So he started doing all this research, and he's like, I found that you're supposed to drink a lot more water, and you could be hurting your kidneys by doing this, and the whole thing. I got ran the riot act for that, but you got to drink a ton of water. I say all that to say, make sure you're drinking a ton of water um, when you're fasting. Oh, if you're breastfeeding, when you're breastfeeding, you can have decaf coffee, but I wouldn't even do that. I would just say keep drinking a ton of water because that's gonna help when you're fasting. Also, make sure that that's enough calories or that you're getting enough nutrients in while you're breastfeeding because one meal a day is really tough when you're breastfeeding. It can also affect your milk supply. That happened to me as well. Where with Gabrielle, that's my youngest daughter, I jumped right on. I started doing T25 like the day I came out of hospital. No, it wasn't the day, but it was like the second I could work out, which was 8 weeks later. I started doing T25, and my milk supply went to almost nil. It was bad, and I was eating like nothing. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just was doing whatever I could to try and lose weight. Um, what's what's my take on detox tea and do I recommend it? So I've tried a couple of detox teas. Like I've tried the Teamy detox tea and I've tried the one at the grocery store. And to be honest, they do work in terms of like losing the weight. But it's like any detox that, like I mentioned before, you'll lose the weight, but unless you're coming off of it the right way, it's not going to do anything for you, you know? And so it's like, I almost wonder what's the point then, you know? So detoxes, just think about if you're doing the detox for health. So in terms of like to try and cleanse your whole body, and then you're about to become a vegan, or you're about to eat extremely clean, and maybe you do get some meat in there, but everything else is clean, no processed foods, yada yada yada. Then the detox is golden. That's the way to go. But if that's not your move, if you're not going to vegan or very clean eating, then detox is still good to do, but you just got to think about why you're doing it and which one makes sense for you. I don't know if detox teas necessarily are. It just depends on the tea, I think. At least for me. At least I've found that for me because every time I've done a detox, it was to lose weight for the most part. Well, no, because I've done the master cleanse just to kind of cleanse my body when I was trying to get pregnant. So and it worked. It helped. I mean, clearly it worked because I got pregnant 4 times. Um, you look great. Oh, thank you so much, Donna. Laugh out loud. I'm not usually ashy in real life. My parents just grew me for life. That's funny. um, what is it? I know it's possible because I lost 4 pounds in one day before. Granted, I gained them back, but still, yeah, I'm telling you, it is possible. I take 1440 a day based on my fitness pal. Good, okay. But been doing 1200. Do you think that's too low? I'm also breastfeeding. I'm drinking a gallon a day. The gallon of water a day is perfect, but I always caution with dropping your calorie intake when you're breastfeeding, just because of what happened to me, where my breast milk dried up. But some people I've seen others who have been able to work through it and it still worked out for them. Um, what time do you normally go to bed at night in order for you to wake up at 5:30 in the morning for boot camp? Because I find myself working on the evening, well, working out in the evening, I think, at about 7 or 8, and it has me up all night. Yeah, so I go to bed around 11, maybe, um, and I'm struggling every morning. Like every morning when it's time to wake up, I am struggling. I'm tired. But I do it. I know that it's important for me to get up. I know it's important for me to move forward. I know it's gonna keep me going in terms of losing weight. So and just staying healthy. So I keep going, but I struggle every day. But I will say that whenever I've worked out at night, let's say I miss my workout in the morning for whatever reason, when I work out at night, I do tend to oh, my hair feels weird. Sorry, I looked at myself. When I work out at night, I do find that I stay up pretty late because what happens is our body starts to get more energy. Our body's kind of moving and shaking after that workout, and so Now it's like, okay, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up. You know, that's why working out in the morning is really good, because what happens is I work out in the morning and I'm energized after that for the next few hours. I get a little sleepy around noon, but before then, I'm pretty good, you know. So I think that's why it works out for me. Although I'm not working right now, but I was doing that while I was working, so that's not really an issue. Um, but yeah, that's why working out in the mornings work for me. But I know that when I've worked out late at night, I get tired as all get out. It's rough getting up in the morning and work out at night. Let me see. I just restarted my fitness journey. I will be treating myself to Wingstop tonight, though. I've been going hard the past 2 days. So, Chanel, are you doing keto or low carbs? Because if you are, Wingstop isn't too bad. Although I will say you should probably, if you're going to be doing it tonight, I don't know where you live, but if you live in the East Coast, this is late to eat. I would suggest, unless you stay up late. If you stay up to like 1, then it's fine to eat this late. Because I always suggest try and stop eating about 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, just to let your body process that food. That's another reason I actually work out in the morning, is that when you work out early in the morning, your metabolism starts really, really pushing, right? It revs up and you're burning calories the rest of the day, sometimes 2 days, depending on what you do. If you do HIIT workouts, you can be burning for 36 hours, burning calories. Your metabolism can be up for like 36 hours. It's crazy. I think that's part of what helped me to lose weight fairly quickly. Fast-ish, I guess. It's never fast enough in my mind for me. I'm always like, oh my goodness, I should have lost 4 pounds this week. I should have lost 20 pounds. It's insane. But then I have to go back and be like, you know what? No. Every progress, every pound is progress. Everything I do that's a healthy change is good. It's progress. Keep pushing. Keep going. Um, Let me see. All right. Oh, excuse me. I've seen a number of people on IG who've lost weight suffer from excessive skin, weight loss. Have you experienced that? Yes, I do have. Well, I don't have. I don't think it's excessive, but I definitely have some loose skin in my stomach, some a little bit in my legs, and it's a real thing. I mean, we will get loose skin. The thing is, what I always think is, man, even if I have loose skin now, and it's not insane, but even if it was insane, even if it was the level of one of those 600-pound life people, if I had that level of loose skin, I think I'd still rather have that than have an extra 100 pounds on me and not be able to play with my kids, or have tons of knee pain. It's like loose skin. Oh, you can't even see that. Well, whatever. It's like loose skin, knee pain, which is, which one feels better? I'd totally rather have the loose skin than the knee pain. But I do know that there's ways around the loose skin, or to not get as much. And and like collagen powder, a lot of people use that. There's different essential oils you can do, use to like remove or to help with your loose skin. There's a bunch of different things that folks recommend. So I would say try some of that, as you're going. But if you start early, like if you start adding collagen into your diet now, then maybe you won't get as much loose skin. But I also think that it's hereditary. I think if your mom had a lot of loose skin or even you have a lot of loose skin from having babies, like your stomach does that curly squeezy thing. That's what I'm calling it. Like your stomach like got really tons of loose skin every time you got pregnant, then you'll probably have loose skin. I mean, it's just the way your body is. Some people's bodies jump right back. My best friend, oh my goodness, whether she was pregnant or gained a bunch of weight, she was at one point 270 pounds, and she has no loose skin. Not only did she have no loose skin, her skin is tight as all get out. She didn't even have cellulite. I'm like, how did you even do that? And she didn't take anything. It's just, hereditary. You have any hair videos? I can tell that's all you. Oh my gosh, hair videos. This is all my hair, but I don't have hair videos because I don't know how to do anything with hair. It's insane. This is all I can do. This is the only thing I know how to do. I can straighten my hair. And my hair is natural. I don't have weave or anything in my hair. Not weave, that's not what I meant. I don't have a perm or anything in my hair, or color or anything, but I don't know how to really do anything other than straighten it. That said, I can straighten my whole head in like 15 minutes. And actually from washing, blow dry, and straightening, I've gotten a full process together where I can do it all in 30 minutes. I don't know how I came up with it, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm doing this. That's why I don't wear it natural and curly as often, because I can't do that as fast. But I'm trying to start wearing it curly more because I think it's impacting Gabrielle, my daughter. She's looking at my hair and saying, okay, mommy, I want to have, oh, mommy, look at my hair's like Auntie Yanni's. And I'm like, no, your hair's like mine too. And I want her to feel like her hair's like mine, because my sister, she always has her hair curly. And Gabrielle obviously has curly hair, but I don't necessarily do mine curly as often. So maybe I will make a hair video one day. But I won't know what I'm talking about. No, I've used so many products, and I've been watching hair videos for years, since I went natural. So I probably would know what I'm talking about at this point. Um, I also started off small. I noticed that I wasn't motivated because I was doing 2 circuits, 6 exercises each, instead of standing off with 1 circuit, 6 exercises each. Oh, starting off. Wow, I can't read. Um, I'll be doing I'll be doing that, I'll be doing that for about a month. That's good. And so that is a thing, right? So it's starting off small, exactly. Because if you start it with one, then it'll keep you a little more motivated, and then increase. You could do 1.5 and then 2. You don't even have to do the whole 2 yet. Just build up over time. Do what works for you. That's how I feel about things. Oh wow, if my milk supply is affected, I'll have to stop. I don't want to make the switch to formula yet. Yes, I'm right with you, Ashley, because I never want to give my kids formula. Um, I always nursed for a full year, and I mean, it was always so important for me. And honestly, I stopped working out completely. I probably stopped. Part of it was me being lazy, right? I feel like, my milk supply may have been affected somewhat, but I bet if I'd have just started drinking more water, maybe even done some of the mother's milk tea, things like that, which I did start doing eventually, I could have continued to work out and done all that. But me, I was like, ooh, I got an excuse not to exercise. I know that's that's exactly what it was back then. I was 330 pounds, and I was like, trying to do T25 from day one. So, any excuse I could be given not to work out, I took it. Um, do you work out on your period? I always get scared. I'll bleed everywhere. Yes, I do. And I've got a really heavy one because I got my tubes tied. I think I mentioned that before, which I don't ever recommend to anyone. Um, but I'd gotten my tubes tied after Gabrielle was born, and now it's really heavy. And so I still work out, but I've got to be extra protected in there, when I do, because man, that is scary. But yeah, I work out when I got my period. I work out. I work out no matter what the situation is, really. Um, Sometimes I'll do it at home though. You don't have to go to the gym for every workout. So if you are nervous about, you know, getting messy somewhere, I would say just work out at home that day, or those days that day. Like anybody's, I wish it was one day. Um, yes, like I've been getting to bed at 2 a.m. Oh my goodness, and then having to get up in the morning. No, yeah, I would say try the early morning workout. See how it works for you. It's not for everybody, but I love it. Have you ever tried fen- Fenterman? Yes. So tequila be natural. I've tried. You name the diet pill, especially that any diet pill that was around before 2007. I've tried it pretty much. Well, once I became an adult. So I would say between, well, I could guess even at like 17. So between like 1997 and 2007, right? So that 10-year span, anything was around Trim Spa, Finnerman, you name it, FinFin. I tried all of them, Xenadrin. I literally tried every diet pill because I was always trying to lose weight. And I thought, let me try that. I actually think a lot of those things kind of made for some issues that I've had over the years, internally. Like I've had hemangiomas in my near my colon, and I have one that's still there that I have to constantly get checked to ensure it's not grown. One of them was removed. I've had hernias. I've had so many different things. The hernia wasn't caused by this, but still the hernia was because I had one of the hemangiomas removed, which led to the hernia, and thus that's still caused by it. But I feel like some of those things, endometriosis, some of those things I really feel was caused by some of the diet pills I was taking without really knowing what it was going to do to me. I would never, I wouldn't ever suggest doing a diet pill. It's not worth it, I don't think, because no one ever knows how those things are going to affect you. studies do show people who do boot camp workouts in the morning lose weight faster. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, wait, maybe is Fenterman not a is that not a diet pill? I thought it was. I could be wrong. I live in California. It's almost 7. Okay. No, and no, keto wasn't working out so for me, so I decided to cut my portion size and start eating more fruit and vegetables. I think that works too. Do what works for you, especially if you're starting out, you want to, keep going, small changes over time. What are the benefits of intermittent fasting? I tried it once and ended up thinking about food the whole time. So the benefits of intermittent fasting is um, you're going to eat less. So you're going to eat less, number one, because you don't have as much time to eat. Number two, your body has more time to process all the food that you've eaten. So it has time to actually go through the digestion. My gosh, I can't talk today. That whole process. So it's better kind of for you in terms of allowing your body to actually process everything that you've eaten. And because of that, it actually helps you lose weight. Because number one, usually you're eating less unless you're just eating everything on earth during those 8 hours. You're usually eating less, and then your body has time to process all the food that you have eaten. So sometimes if I have a cheat day, so like the day after the brownies, what did I do? I did 18 hours of intermittent fasting. So I stopped eating at 8 o'clock, and 8 p.m. and I didn't eat again until 2 p.m. the next day. And by the next day, I hadn't really gained any weight because, and I didn't just eat brownies. I had brownies, I had pizza, I had everything else. So, but I did end up, dropping the weight back, partly because of intermittent fasting, partly because of working out, all those different things. So it's very beneficial for you. I remember you mentioning how you were very hungry after your HIIT workouts, and I had the same problem, but I figured out I wasn't eating enough calories before working out. So I actually work out fasting. I do a fasting workout. I don't eat before I work out at all because, again, I work out at 5:30 in the morning. Some trainers recommend that you eat, but I find that I burn more fat if I don't eat. If I do eat, now I'm burning off the food that I ate. So I don't eat right after or right before. That said, it's actually better if you eat after your workout because then your body is in burn mode, right? Your metabolism is high, your body's burning a lot of fat, and now if you do eat, your body's going to burn that off. So it's actually better to eat. I think it's better from talking to my trainer and stuff and nutritionist over 20 something years. I should be a nutritionist as much as I've talked to nutritionists over the years. But anyways, you'll actually burn better if you eat after you work out. Ashley, I'm on week 2. Oh, good. I'm doing fenugreek. Oh, yes, fenugreek to keep up my milk supply, but that keeps me hungry. I mean, really hungry. Yes. So fenugreek, I did that too. Not only does it keep you hungry, but it keeps you smelling like maple syrup. And also, what's funny about fenugreek is that the more you take, it's like your body gets immune to it after a while, and so you end up having to take, or not immune to it. I don't know the word. I can't think of the word. But you end up having to take more in order to continue to build up your supply. So what I mean is, like, if you start with taking 2 a day, and then you eventually have to take 3 a day, and then 4 a day, and then 5. You have to continue to up it in order to keep going. But it's still, hey, the milk supply grows from it for real. It definitely works. Tequila, how's it going for you? If I wasn't breastfeeding, I would definitely be back on it. Laugh out loud. Oh, excuse me. Gosh, I don't know how you do it. I tried getting up at 8 this morning and I was too tired, so I pressed snooze. I slept until 11. It's so hard. You said 8. I mean, you said 11. You know what? I couldn't do it at first either. I remember one of my friends had asked me. She was like, we should start working out at 5:30 in the morning. And this was early on. I was probably around 3:18 at the time. And she was like, we could work out in the mornings. There's this great boot camp, and I used to go to it, and it's at 5:30 in the morning every day, and you should go, and blah, blah, and we should go. And I was like, girl, I can't get up at no 5:30 in the morning. And the stuff they're doing in that boot camp, yeah, right. Like I felt like they were climbing hills and all kinds of craziness. I was like, that is not me. There's no way I'm doing that. Sure enough, cut to 6 months later, I've joined the boot camp, and I am, all in, right, and loving it. So, and up at 5:30 in the morning. It's just, you do it because you know it works, right? And also, you find what I started finding was that when I was doing, if I didn't work out early in the morning, then I wouldn't work out at all, and that was my biggest issue. So I was like, I have to get it done because with kids and work and my husband and making dinner and cleaning up and work. Frankly, work was tearing me up. I mean, I was working till from the time the kids left to school at like 9 or whatever to like 7 p.m. a lot of times. So if I didn't get my workout in at 5, it wasn't happening usually. So I'm like, that morning workout was important for me. Um, I like how you answering each individual comment. Very cool of you. Oh, thank you so much, Lady Shay. Um, Alicia, thanks, cuz I have to get work done. So until next week, I guess, keep up the great work, and I will do the same. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Alicia. I have to text you or email you later. And Chanel says, that makes sense. Maybe I will try getting up early in the morning to work out because I know I'm never hungry around 7 or 8. So after the workout, I shouldn't be feeling super hungry. That's true. So if you get up at 7 or 8, I mean, if you can work out at 8, that's golden. Heck, if I could work out at 8, I definitely would. We started going at 6. I started bringing my son to boot camp now, and we go at 6:30. We don't leave at 6:30, but we still have to get up at 5:30, but we get there around 6:30 or a little before 6:30 now, which is awesome. That's only 2 days a week. The rest of the days I still have to go at 5:30, but I'm still happy about that. Those 2 days I get that extra hour of sleep. Like, you can't tell me anything. So I mean, it's golden. Anyway, so it's been over an hour. I don't know how I talked this long. This is just, I'm ridiculous. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. I will be on next week. I think next week I might have to do it from a different location. I'll talk to you later, Lady Shay. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I have to do it from a different location because my friend's having a going away party. So I may be in the bathroom of the restaurant doing a quick Q&A. It'll probably be fairly short next week, but I'm still going to try and get it going. All right. So I will talk to you guys soon, and look out for the videos on Friday. At least one of those videos. I think I'm going to do how I started my weight loss journey on Friday, and then the next week